stretch. I hope you had a good stretch, a good nature break. So everything okay? One, I would like to request all of you to actually just pay a little focus on this particular 6 thinking hacks. Okay, we are no experts. These 6 thinking hacks is actually a methodology by a very Professor Edward Liu. Okay, so in this, I'm not Edward Liu, I'm not the Bono, the singer. Okay, how many of you all know the Bono, the YouTube singer? Okay, it's not that guy. First, when I heard Edward Liu Bono, how come this singer can also think of this thinking hacks, but it's not? Okay, so okay, and also pardon us, okay, because we have been actually tasked, I get chance this year, have been tasked to run this innovation workshop by introducing something to make us, to help us think innovatively. For example, I think Edward probably before that he didn't know the 6 thinking hacks, so I came out with recent innovations. Sorry, Edward. Edward's been very quiet. Probably he has got more innovations to share. I've been telling you why he's so quiet. Maybe he'll make a lot of noise after doing it. Okay. So pardon us. Okay, we also just learned this tool, and hopefully we can deliver our best to you all to pass this 6 thinking hacks in terms of theory. You can actually use it for your own purpose, and especially for work, especially in meetings. I'll tell you shortly later about that. Okay, but before that, this is the important. The core of this workshop. Introduce the 6 thinking hacks, and after that, following the 6 thinking hacks theory, you will need to apply this into a real challenge. Okay, into a real challenge. Then we will later tell you more about these challenges, how we came out with these challenges. Alright, okay. Just before I start, a little bit background about this Edward Bono. Okay, when I was going through the video and trying to understand the 6 thinking hacks, right? Actually, what I tried to do is I tried to practice it on my 5-year-old kid. Okay, this my 5-year-old kid is a very rebellious one. I think 4 or 5 is a rebellious phase of time in their life, in their childhood. Okay, she keeps on. When I say this, she will do. When I say A, she will do B. When I say C, she will do D. She will never listen. Okay, so I actually tried to 6 thinking hacks is something to do with thinking, right? So I told her, okay, Shamin, if you don't listen, okay, I got something to tell you. If you make me, mommy angry, I will ask you to. I put a chair in the corner, her favorite chair in the corner. I say you go there and think what you did. And actually it worked because she wanted to know what I was trying to ask her to do. So she went and sat down and I asked her a few questions. I said, did you do something right or wrong? She said wrong. Okay, so what did it make mommy feel? Angry or sad or happy? Angry. Okay, so what should you do next time? You must listen or don't listen when mommy tell you something. She said, I must listen. So she realized her mistake. So actually, this Edward Bono has actually mentioned that, and actually has this methodology has already been adopted in a lot of schools and also in preschools, starting for kids aged 5 years old and above. So imagine. So I actually just tried a small area, not a full-fledged 6 thinking hacks, but I worked on her in order to make her think. Right? So rather than we are scolding her, go sit there, so that just doesn't make them think what they've done wrong. So basically, I tried this and it worked. Okay, so there must be some truth to this. Okay. I was also quite skeptical on whether the 6 thinking hacks is really going to help you solve your challenges, but somehow there is some truth there. Okay, and as I was mentioning earlier, this Edward Bono, he is actually he holds a double degree and double masters in psychology. He's also a doctor by profession, and somehow he went analyzed into thinking capability. That's how he came up with this 6 thinking hacks. Okay, before that, right, I just want to show you a simple example of how our mind thinks. Okay, for example, you have these numbers, okay, big numbers, okay, body lah, yeah, okay, so let's take
another body,
I've got a 3D and first.
Oh,
yeah, okay. I arrange these numbers in this way. Okay, I can call it. Okay, now mine. Okay, so innovative. These I take it out. Okay. Okay, fine. So now if I ask you to sum up these numbers, total up these numbers, can you do it? How fast can you do it? Anyone in this room can give me the total? These 4 numbers, 4 sets of numbers. I ask you to total up. Just by looking at the board. Yeah, that means I want a total sum of 2,694 plus 3,023 plus 512 and 7,021. Okay, before you do that, in our primary, what we do is that, what we do? Can anyone tell what I'm doing?
Writing.
No, that's another word. What am I doing? From this to this. What am I doing? What did I do from here to this? Rearrange, get it right. So I rearrange these 4 numbers in this sequence, right, from top to bottom. This one is like left to right, top to bottom, everywhere, right? So I rearrange these numbers and I will be getting a total of. Okay, so this is what Edward de Bono says. What did he say? Okay, please check. Is this correct? Okay, so the wrong number. Okay, fine. So now what we have done. This is not a maths lesson. I'm also used to using calculator. Okay, so basically.
Yeah, wait. You purposely want to see whether we are awake or not.
Good. Okay, so far I'm doing well. Okay, you all don't need energizer. Okay, so what we have done here is rearranging those numbers to get a total. We have rearranged those numbers in the sequence. So what Edward de Bono says is that he has analysed this and says that there's a way to rearrange things in our mind so that we think more simply and more effectively. That's his conclusion of his research, or years of research. He says we have to know how to rearrange things in our mind to think more simply and more effectively. That's his statement. Okay, and also he also says this. He also says it, now I cannot erase that. So another information, I have to find another board. Okay. Okay, he also says this. He says, if you look there, he says intelligence is not equal to thinking. Okay, what does that mean? So now we're talking about 6 thinking heads, and he says now intelligence is not equal to thinking. Okay, now I can show you an example. Okay. Just imagine this is a Ferrari lah. Okay, now imagine this Ferrari, right? It has an engine here. Okay, the engine is jutting out. Okay, and he says one thing. He says the engine of this Ferrari or engine of any car, okay, is the intelligence. Is the intelligence of the car, right? Okay. Then, but you cannot move this car without the driver. Okay. So, but then again, you give me a Ferrari and I drive, will I be using the fullest potential of the engine, of intelligence? No, because I don't have the skill. Okay. So then now what he says is that, but on the other hand, if you have proton, okay, and then this is a Ferrari just now, okay, proton, real proton, okay, so and then you have the same engine, okay, but then here you have car or whatever, okay, and then he drives the car, and I'm driving this Ferrari, so who will win? So you know automatically, right? So what he says is that intelligence is not equal to thinking, is that he says skill has to be used in order to enable your intelligence. Okay, so he says that not everyone is born as an Albert Einstein. Not everyone has to be Albert Einstein to think innovatively. So it's actually the skill. It means our skill in driving our intelligence. So that's why like what Vincent put up just now. Even the top performers, right? They are top performers, but they think it's someone else that thinks creatively. It's not they themselves. So here what it goes to show is that if everyone has some kind of a tool to help them, we can actually be able to think creatively. But probably we just need some kind of guidance or some kind of reference on how to do things creatively and innovatively. Okay. So that's one example. So his conclusion is that when you apply six thinking hats, it helps us to unbundle the thinking so that instead of trying to do everything at once, try to think all the solutions at once, we separate out the different aspects of thinking, then we can pay attention to each aspect one at a time. Okay? So he says an analogy of using, how many of you all play golf here? I don't. Okay, okay. Imagine you are at a golf course. Okay, you're having what you call the golf club, right? With all kinds of clubs there. Okay, and I'm sure you have, how many you have in the golf club? How many types of, what do you call it? Golf sticks, is it? Golf sticks. How many types? One set? 14, right? Okay. Can you use maybe the type 1 to use for all ranges of shots? You can't. Right? So they say, so using the golf analogy, right? They say that, okay, okay, you got two, one for putting and one for driving, right? So you have a separate golf stick for putting and separate golf stick for driving.
Badminton cannot play golf.
Badminton all can, same thing. Okay. so that's why he says that you cannot be, that's why there's a reason for those golf sticks. So the same thing, our mind, we have to be able to apply a certain, for all situations, we should be able to think look at one aspect at one time. Get everyone to think of one aspect at one time. That's his. Rearrange things in your mind. You think more simply and more effectively, and in turn, you will be able to think clearly and clearly. Okay. This one I'll later. So basically, you have a group of people there, for example, with all kinds of thinking, all kinds of colors on the left. Okay. Your goal, our outcome is by using the 6 thinking hats, everyone think. If you can look at the right column there, everyone uses white hat, think of white way of thinking. Then later, all the 6 people thinking of red kind of thinking, and then yellow kind of thinking, and then black and blue. So you can see these are 6 colors: white, red, green, yellow, black, blue. Okay, that's the reason why blue is on the right, which I'll explain. Okay, so these are the colors. Now I'll take this a bit slowly. They say the blue hat, okay, I don't know why they have come up with the hat. You can be a wall or anything, right? I don't know why they came up with the hat, because you have to put it on your mind, right? So I think in a way it makes you think that you're wearing the blue hat, so you have to think blue way. Okay. Normally, in any situation, a person who's wearing a blue hat, you're having a meeting, a person who's wearing the blue hat or a group of people wearing the blue hat will be the person who's controlling the meeting or the presentation session. So they are organizing everyone to think in a certain way, and they set the focus and agenda of the meeting, and they summarize and conclude at the end, and ensures that all the rules are observed. That means everyone is using that particular color to think at one time. So you don't have the difference of another color idea. Okay, so that is blue. So later when we have the presentations as well, the change leaders will be playing the blue hat. So you guys don't have to worry about the blue hat thinking, because they will be wearing the blue hat to facilitate all of you. Okay, and the next one is white. Okay, white hat, when you all are wearing the white hat thing, you all are supposed to be able to come out with information that you already know about that particular issue or about a particular situation. Okay, information we know and information we need. Not information that is not there. Basically, these are the people with data. And if you are looking at all the data relevant to the particular issue, okay, how are you going to get the information? Is it readily available? Is it very easily, you can extract easily, or you have to run a script or something like that? And it determines accuracy and relevance of the data, and looks at other people's view. Okay, this one is I think not so major. The major one is the information you know. Basically, white hat is about what information we have for the situation. So blue hat is controlling, white is information. Red is the easiest. Red is I feel happy, I feel frustrated, I feel angry, I don't like my my staff for giving that comment. Okay, these are feelings hat. The red hat is on the feelings part. Okay, but it's also considered a key ingredient in decision making because your feelings are important. no need to justify, just throw out your feelings. Whether you're happy or not happy with that idea. Okay, these are three heads. Go to the next three. Okay, the green head they say is the creative head. The green one is creative. Okay, they are the ones like what Vincent was trying to tell you all. You know, challenge the status quo. Okay, searching for alternatives and opportunities. Seeking alternatives and possibilities. Remove thoughts. Don't have to be logical. No need to be logical. Because you need not to be logical to generate new concepts, right? So they want you to just come up with them. It can be crazy ideas, but these are the ones. The green hat. Yellow hat thinking is a bit optimistic. Okay, the yellow and the white can sometimes can be confusing. Okay, because the yellow says optimistic view, right? So you also can come up with some kind of solution, maybe to support the idea. White comes up with whatever baseline. Yellow says that okay, needs to justify that particular idea or the particular comment or the particular challenge. Okay, so yellow hat is the most difficult hat to play. Finds the benefits or value of that particular issue that you're talking about. Okay, so will that particular idea lead to cost savings? Will that particular idea lead to more opportunities? Will it create revenue increase? Okay, and the black hat they say quite easy to wear because every time criticize. The black hat say cannot lah, difficult lah, too costly. Okay, too costly. Sure not. Have you done that before? If not done before, it won't work. That is black hat. Okay, so these are the 6 colors that it says are the main concepts of us brainstorming for ideas. Okay, now I'm not telling you that this 6 thinking hats is going to immediately you use it, you're going to be the most innovative section or the most innovative, or we are all IT going to be the most innovative department. We're not trying to tell you that. It's just for me, I personally believe is that it generates ideas in a systematic way. Right? When everyone, imagine you have 5 to 6 staff in a meeting, or maybe cross-functional team in a meeting, and you want to conduct a meeting, right? You want to get feedback from them. Everyone is throwing ideas. So how do you rearrange those ideas systematically? In that generation of ideas, when you do the brainstorming, you already have some creative ideas which can lead you to an innovative concept in the work of the meeting or the challenge. Right? Okay, so any questions now? Any questions? Is it too difficult? Because some of them say that, you know, how are you going to teach us the 6 thinking hacks within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and later we're supposed to apply this thing in the challenge. But I believe we are IT boleh, racial boleh, semua boleh, right? So okay, so anything difficult that you think you need more explanation on this thinking hacks? Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, just say I have an idea. Someone says, or maybe someone told me that, okay, let's say I have an idea on making a robot. Okay, making a robot. Maybe for a company, to do a robotic arm for a manufacturing company or something like that. Okay, I have an idea making a robot. Okay, now I have a group of colleagues in the meeting. Okay, I'm supposed to, okay, I own this particular section, and then the factory manager has said that, okay, think of a possibility of making a robot, a robotic arm, a robotic something, you know, to fix certain parts of the manufactured item, right? So I now have a challenge making a robot. Okay, and then I have my colleagues here coming and telling that I tell them, okay, now let's think of red hat. Red hat thinking. What they tell me is, wow, it's fun to make. It's fun. You see suddenly a robotic arm. You know, there's only robotic arm in the whole company, others are all operators there, and here you have a robotic arm, so it's fun. It's fun, it's nice to have. Okay, that's a red hat thinking. A yellow hat will say, oh, yellow, we need to train people. Later when a robot comes, people don't know how to operate the robotic arm, train people. Need a new design that we need to enhance the design of the machine. Right? So yellow hat just now?
Yes.
We need to enhance the design of the machine. And maybe we need more engineers at the machine in case the machine breaks down. So yellow is giving all these optimistic ideas to support. Okay? And then it says, okay, we can have faster turnaround time. Turnaround time faster compared to operators when having the robotic arm. Okay. So yellow ideas, yellow hat ideas into that. Black, now let's think on black. The black says it's too costly. It's too costly to have a robotic arm. I can just have operators from Bangla come here, okay, and operate the machine. I don't need to have a robotic arm there, right? It's much cheaper. You know, I give that is like in a way slavery, like, you know, just bring them from third world country and put them to operate my machine. So that's better. Black hat will say that. Okay, now just say I am the facilitator of this whole session, okay, and at the end I play the blue hat. Okay, I will say, okay, it's good to have this robotic arm, but let's try to solve because of all these difficulties. Design, maybe I want to consider, maybe I have to have engineers can be more costly as well. So let's source for a robotic arm from a supplier that doesn't cost that much. That probably has, that probably is automated, but I don't have to have engineers there. And maybe training is maybe a very shorter period of time. And then I make the conclusion and I tell the factory manager. So basically, because the black says too costly, so I have an idea to source for maybe a cheaper one, if there is. So finally, the blue hat makes the conclusion. Because it's fun, it's going to create some kind of excitement in the company for something is being implemented. Right? So blue hat makes a wise decision on how to proceed. But sometimes not all situations you can actually come up with a conclusion. You only have a long generation of ideas, but you probably need to take it to the next level. Because sometimes when business decisions are made, you have to make the business decisions with the person who pays the money, finance department, and the CEO, the person who decides the management. So basically these ideas will help. So that's what Edward Ibono or the 6 thinking hats is all about. Okay? Okay, so now, okay, how many of you all still feel that I don't understand? Any questions? This one. You want to understand this one? Yeah, the left one. Or this one. Here, we are saying is that, for example, you have a group of people. In this case, we have like around 6 people there. Okay? 6 people have, like for example, maybe I'm a creative person. I always end up giving creative ideas. But not all the 5 people will do anything. Now, in this case, we are thinking that it's 6 people there. With 6 kinds of thinking. There can be 12 because 2 or 3 will be thinking this way, 2 or 3 thinking that way, right? So you imagine you have 6 people thinking 6 different ways. Do you think the idea will work out? You will have lots of conflicts in the thinking. That's what he's trying to say. You will have a lot of conflicts there. Because no matter what, I'll only think of black color. It's not going to work. Resources issue. Takes too long. You know, I only will think that way. I'm not going to think creatively. But another person is thinking, Gen Y is thinking, it's fun, it's nice to have things, something that creates an excitement in the working environment. In Gen Y there, you have Gen X there, you have many gens, but everyone will be coming up with different suggestions based on their own thought. So here, when you apply the 6 thinking hats properly in a session, we're telling all the 6 people to use the white hat and think. White hat means what? What are the information we have? All. So whether I was previously thinking of all the criticizing ways, now I got to wear a white hat and tell what information we have. If you don't have, let's go and find what information we need. If you don't have this, what information we need. Someone that answers the question? Okay, so done part lah. Okay. Okay, so basically that particular picture, the cluster picture, we're also having a problem. We try to decode that, we try to say that everyone is thinking different ways. So how to make that all the 6 people think the same way without any conflict. this is also a method to avoid conflicts. For example, you have maybe your team lead. Your team leads probably all the time a person who wears black. Okay, but you don't want to tell the person off because you're telling that person always finds ways to criticize, always negative, right? But you don't want to tell that off again. Okay, and you say, can we try? Okay, let's all of us put on the white hat now. So do not think of a negative way. Let's all put on a white hat. What does white hat ask us to do? That's a nicer way to tell the person, your team lead, do not criticize. So that's one of the advantages of this tool. And also an effective way to kill egos in the team. Because some people think, I'm the best. My feedback is the best. So they say one of the best ways to kill egos in the team. Okay. Just to reinforce that, I will be playing the short video.
Six Thinking Hats by Edward de Bono. Red hat. Think of fire and warmth. Associated with emotion, punches, intuition, gut and feelings. Yellow hats. Think of sunshine. It is for optimism, logical and positive thinking. Black hat. Think of stern judge. It is the hat of critic, analyst, logical and negative. Green hat. Think of vegetation and rich growth. This is the hat for creative possibilities and ideas. White hat. Think of white paper. It covers facts, neutral, objective and information. Blue hat. Think of the sky and overview, associated with agenda, process, organizer and decision.
Identify the heads of each of the statements below. Tell us the benefit of this idea. What color do you think it is? Tell us the benefit of this idea. So the person who is telling this statement, what color hat do you think is wearing?
Oh yeah.
Yellow.
White.
Blue.
Okay, read carefully. Tell us the benefit of this idea.
White.
I don't know.
Black.
David got it right. David got it right. One sheet.
White.
So, purple. Okay.
Blue.
Okay, why did he answer blue? Why do you think he answered blue? But you see, it can be very confusing. Okay, if you say benefit of this, Mr. X is giving the benefit of this idea, then that is yellow. Right? This one. Okay, but this one is someone telling, tell us. Now someone is controlling the meeting. That person is asking, tell us or tell everyone in this room what's the benefit of this idea. So that person is very well.